Sketchbook Session number 3. How is everybody doing? It is raining pretty hard here, so I hope that you guys enjoy the lo-fi hip-hop beats to study to vibes that are happening here, because I have my window open, because it is insufferably humid, and I need it. I turned off all the fans this time, but I do have the window open, so you might hear thunder once in a while, you're gonna hear rain, but you know what? It's just going to enhance the aesthetic. So today excuse you, I should silent my phone. Today I have a fun little illustration plan that I want to do. It is a sketchbook session, but I haven't done like finished work in my sketchbook in a little bit. I have like unfinished paintings, but I want to do some finished work today. So I have a little illustration that I want to do. I hope I can get it done. I might time-lapse some of this, but the majority of this sketchbook session will still be live drawing, but let me show you guys my idea. Let's zoom in. Wow, that is not a lot of zoom. Okay. So since it's raining today, and my cat, my executive producer, is very upset about it, she's going crazy, I got the idea to draw a little like plant witch with her cat, maybe in front of like a rainy window, and the cat is like very upset about the fact that it's raining, and yeah, so I have a little thumbnail, so I'm gonna try to draw this in a reasonable amount of time. I don't think that's gonna happen. I've given up on these sketchbook sessions being any reasonable amount of time. I think you guys like it being long anyways. I need to silence my phone. Anyways, let's get started. As usual, draw along with me, get out your sketchbook and do some doodles and stuff. Let's get started. Okay, let's talk planning a bit. I'm sorry it's so dark in here. I have my ring light and my other light on it, but I have no natural light really coming in because it's raining. So I'm sorry about that. Alright, so I don't have a whole lot prepared to talk about today, because I know I said the next sketchbook session would be like a Q&A or whatever, but I actually planned that for a different illustration that I wanted to do. I have actually a work in progress of that on my Instagram, and the reason I want to do a Q&A for that is because I'm going to have to record voiceover for like the voice part of the sketchbook session, because I'm recording that bit by bit as I work on it, so it wasn't like a traditional sit down and talk as I work on it the whole time sketchbook session. So that is the reason why I'm gonna hold off on the Q&A. I think that one's gonna come out in like 2 weeks or whatever. I have a tutorial that I think is gonna come out like next week. It's gonna be on alcohol markers, so if you guys use alcohol markers, look forward to that. But in this one, I'm just going to be talking about sort of art process things and like, I don't know, whatever I want to talk about, whatever is on my brain. But this is usually my first step whenever I do an illustration like this. Please focus. Okay, I think she's focused. I really hope she's focused. But yeah, I usually do a little thumbnail so that I know the general direction that I'm going in and what I'm doing. Because I can't leave myself to my own devices a lot of times with stuff like this. It like does not work. I end up just, it doesn't look right. I've got to have some kind of plan and goal in mind, and I'm glad I did this because it ended up being pretty different from the idea I had in mind. I found some little similar ideas to this on like Pinterest. The general idea and layout is like, you know, those little succulent terrarium things that aesthetic girls put on their windowsills and whatever and hang from their windows. It's sort of in the shape of one of those, and then I'm gonna draw my little plant witch in here. But yeah, this is like a window and there's gonna be rain in the background or whatever, I don't know. We're gonna just like plan as we go a little bit. Already I'm trying to make the windowsill area fit her a little bit better, because she's a little bit cramped in the rough sketch that I have here. And I also messed up her proportions and her arms pretty bad. Oh my gosh. So much for a calm sketchbook session. Like, that was a lot. The weather, she needs to calm down. Otherwise, I'm gonna have terrible audio. My audio is already really bad, so. I'm sorry if that freaked anyone out. I've gotta say it freaked me out a little bit. But we're gonna just keep going here and pretend that that didn't happen. Where was I? I don't even know what I was talking about. Anyways, so as I go, I'm gonna try to correct some of the things in the thumbnail sketch that just didn't look quite right. I'm gonna try to make the little cat that I have look a little bit better and just overall raise the aesthetics a bit. I hope that I can do this illustration in a timely manner. I don't have a lot of confidence right now that I can do that, because whenever I do watercolor illustrations in my sketchbook, it usually takes the whole day because I'm slow. So yeah. Anyways, so I know I just made a tutorial on how I like sketching in ballpoint pen, but I don't trust myself to go in straight with ballpoint pen on this, so I'm gonna do some pencil work first just to lay everything out. I almost feel like I should do this off. I shouldn't do it off camera. I'm just tempted to do it off camera because I know that it'll look better if I do it. And I draw faster whenever I'm not on camera. Does that really make sense? No, it doesn't. But it is true. Like, for y'all artists out there who do sketchbook sessions and like record yourselves drawing, is it true that you guys tend to draw better when you're not like on camera or recording yourselves? Because like, I don't know whether it's like I get nervous or... I know some of it is just straight up the direction of the camera and the page. Like, it being so flat like this, I can't really see what I'm doing as clearly as I would like to. But it's fine. We're just gonna go for it. And I feel like this has already taken way too much time, so I'm just gonna try to speed up the process. Because it doesn't matter. We're gonna cover this up with ballpoint pen anyways, so. But yeah, this is another way that I do my sketches a lot of times. If I want it to turn out good and I want to like plan, I'll go in with pencil first with my undersketch, and then I'll do inking with ballpoint pen. And I also have a special guest star today, my Micron pen that I like never use. I might use this to color in some flat blacks just to get some good contrast. I don't know. We're figuring things out as we go. I'm not really sure what this is going to turn into or what we're doing today, but I hope it turns out good. And I hope it doesn't take me forever. I'm already getting those scared feelings, like this is going to take me too long and I probably should have chosen something else to do today. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just like panicked today because I have a billion things to do because I didn't get enough done yesterday, and I have like some drawings for school to turn in, like schematic drawings and mechanical drawings because I'm an engineering student, not like the fun kind. I mean, they're kind of fun. I like doing them. But anyways, I need to turn those in, and I have to finish up next week's video because it's sponsored and like, oh, I'm just like struggling to be efficient. I need to be more efficient. How do you guys stay efficient and like stay on task? Like, already I like burned half the morning because I was talking to my mom. Like, do you ever just get into the longest conversations with your mom or your dad or your brother or something, and you just like half the day is gone? Like, I love talking to my mom, but like, you know, we just get in a room and then the talking, it doesn't stop. It just goes on for like 2 hours. I think I talked like 2 hours, so yeah, we're struggling here a little bit today, but it's fine. So this is looking kind of cute. I don't know how I feel about some of it. I think I'm gonna maybe go off camera in a minute or so here and fix her up, just because I know it's not gonna turn out good if I don't do that. But yeah, we just have some plant things growing around the window here, probably, because why not? Quick other thing I wanted to mention to you guys. I've been getting a lot of advice from people about how to do my sketchbook session setup and my filming setup in general. And I have actually been redoing my room space a little bit so that it works better for this. I actually bought a new desk, well, like 2 new desks, They're next to me. I'm not filming on them yet because I still need to get my filming setup rigged. And then I have like a new setup for just general filming, sort of. It's a whole work in progress. I'm slowly becoming a plant person, so there's also gonna be like plants everywhere in my film setup, so fun stuff is ahead. Once I finish it, I'll do a studio tour, and once I have it set up for filming, you'll start seeing it for the sketchbook sessions. But yeah, that's what I've sort of been working on in the background here. So keep a lookout for that. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a nice little improvement from how I have been doing things here. Like, this isn't the worst sketchbook session setup in the world, but like, it's not very aesthetic. Like, I like the paint everywhere aesthetic, but it could be cleaner and sleeker, so I have a new desk that's gonna make that look nice. And then, I don't know, we're just gonna try to raise the vibes here a little bit. How about that? I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. Okay, so I hate to interrupt the fun here. However, I am very nervous about how this looks whenever I stand up and it's at an angle. So I'm gonna go off camera and I'm gonna fix a couple things before we go in with our ballpoint pen and try to like tweak it a little bit. So I'll be right back. I'm sorry I'm not gonna show this part, but just for me, for my conscience, I need to fix it, make sure it looks good so I don't put something demonic out into the world. So I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to the struggle session. As you can see, the sketch looks like totally different. Let's show the sketch. Well, very different, yes. And that's because the first one was really not working for me. So I fixed it up off camera, and I am gonna try not to do that so much in the future because it kind of destroys the purpose of these sketchbook sessions, but it is what it is. I'm not confident enough yet to show this process on camera without time lapse. So I'm just gonna get rid of this and we're gonna start on the ballpoint pen. Okay, we are on to pen time. The amount of time it took for me to get this cat even close to right was like frankly embarrassing, so I'm really glad I didn't show it on camera because there are quite a few times where I did make something that was just super ugly and a bad thing, so I don't think that I want you guys to see that. I know that you guys would be like, oh, it's fine, we all make ugly stuff sometimes, but oh, it looked rough. I actually pulled up some reference for this cat because I was like, I just can't figure it out for some reason. For some reason, cat necks like really get to me. Like, for some reason I can't figure out how to connect the cat's head to its body. Like, cats don't have a neck for some reason. Have you guys noticed that? Like, cat spines are weird, so I guess that's definitely part of it. But yeah, for some reason I can never figure that out and make it look right or regular. So like I said, I'm glad you guys didn't have to see that because it was quite rough. But anyways, so this is the fun part. I really like going over pencil sketches and ballpoint pen because, I don't know, it's just like relaxing. I like the process of it a good bit. And I feel like this is the time where it's actually harder to mess it up. Like, I'm scared of microns. I used to use microns like pretty much exclusively, but as I've gotten into ballpoint pens and like watercolor illustrations, I tend to not use microns as much. Just because like I found out that using ballpoint pens for me is just like a lot quicker and a lot less stressful. See, this is the pen gunk that I was talking about in last week's video. I think it happens more whenever I have pencil shavings literally all over my page like I do right now. So what's the weather like for you guys? Right now, it can't decide what it wants to do here. It's like sunny and in the 70s one day, and the next day it's raining and it's in the 40s, so I'm getting real sick of it. And there's also lots of tornadoes, so I'm not a big fan of that. Seriously, we had like a couple weeks in a row where there were just like lots of tornadoes and it sucked. It's always super scary whenever that happens, but I'm very fortunate. I live in a place where we don't get tornado damage easily. There's kind of like a lot of hills around, so it's not easy for the tornadoes to get to us, fortunately, but not everyone is that fortunate, so I'm just like, please stop. Calm down, tornadoes. We don't need that. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there are any Q&A questions about this sort of art process that I can answer while I'm drawing here. I don't have it pulled up, so, because my brain can't multitask for some reason, but I guess, yeah, if you guys ever wonder what it's like whenever I'm doing a larger illustration, I struggle a lot, like I've done in this video. It takes me a while to get it right and how I want it, like whenever I'm doing a rough sketch. So if it takes you a while to get things how you want them and you just can't get them to look great, you're not alone. I feel like a lot of people experience that whenever they're trying to draw like more finished work. Like, isn't it always like when you're doing a sketch, it comes out way better than if you like were to plan a drawing and like figure it out and make it look nice. It's like very frustrating. I wish that my finished work looked as good as some of my sketchbooks, but that's why sketchbooks are really nice, and just sketches in general. It's like throwaway work, but it somehow ends up being the best work that I do most of the time, so good stuff. Let's see here. I'm trying to do this in a way where it's not going to take me hours. It usually takes me a good bit of time to ink things, but I've gotten faster with the ballpoint pens. That's the other reason why I like using these guys, because it generally just saves me a lot of time. And I tend to like how it looks better anyways, so it's sort of a win-win for me, you know. Okay. The proportions of this character here are kind of driving me crazy. Like, I've been doing this thing recently where I've been drawing heads kind of big. It's bugging me because, like, I don't really like, for me, the anime style where, like, the heads are a lot bigger than everything else. I kind of like sort of semi-realistic anime styles where the head is pretty much in proportion to the body. That's just me. Like, it's just personal preference. I like it whenever other people use those styles. It's just not the art style that I usually go for. But I've been doing kind of weird stuff recently where my style is leaning that way, and it's making me kind of upset because, again, it's not really what I want for my art, so it's like a weird balance whenever you're trying to like make things cute and try to keep things sort of proportionate, and I don't know, I struggle to stylize things in that way sometimes. It's like kind of, it's very contradictory. You're trying to make things like human and proportionate, but also exaggerate them to look cute. It's like, they don't always go together, do they? But yeah. I'm really a big fan of how this drawing reflects just my current day right now. Because my cat is very upset because she can't go outside. She normally goes outside most of the time because she's like an indoor-outdoor kitty. So, She can't go outside right now, so she's just cowering under my other desk. She's like literally hiding behind my guitar, like between my guitar and my bed. It's like really cute, but I can tell that she's like upset and she's not having fun today, so that's like really sad. Sad for her. She just wants to go outside and play. Like, just let her go outside and play. Maybe the weather will get better later today. I think I filmed a clip earlier of her. I'll probably put that in the video at some point, because I was looking for her. I was like, where did you go? I know she was in here. She ran in here because she heard thunder and she was scared. She wanted to be with her mom, and I was like, okay, you come hang out. And then she just like disappeared for a while. And I found her under my desk. I think she's happy there though, at least. I'm hoping she'll take a nap. That way she can kind of ignore the nasty storms and just sort of chill out for a little bit. It must be so terrifying to be like that small and hear thunder and just like not know what it is. Like, oh my gosh. I really feel for like dogs and cats who do not like thunder. Because if I was that little, I wouldn't like it either. If I had no conceivable idea of like what it was or what was causing it. Like, does your pet ever just look at you whenever it's raining with the look of like, please make it stop, and you just like can't do anything for them because you don't control the weather. You're not Storm, you're not an X-Men, you can't do anything about it. And I feel bad for them because they just want to like go play outside. Everybody put an F in the chat for the weather. Babies just need to chill out and play outside and hang out. That's their job. Can't do it when the weather's bad. Am I making this sad by talking about how my cat can't go outside and how she's sad that she can't go outside? I'm sorry. It's just like, that's why I'm drawing right now a little witch and her sad cat that can't go outside. Because it's raining and she just wants to go outside. Anyways. I'm sorry, I don't know what this is turning into. Okay. So, I'm resorting to the ruler for a lot of these lines because I just don't feel like drawing straight lines today. I know I don't have it in me, and I'm not even gonna try. Like, let's be honest. It's not it. Maybe I'll try to draw some of these. These aren't so bad, but drawing indoor environments and architecture is just like very difficult. People who can do that, I'm like, oh my gosh, mad props. Because like I struggle big time whenever I'm trying to do stuff like that. One of the fun things that we get to do for engineering class is actually like draw little three-dimensional objects from different angles, and we get to do it on like grid paper, so you can have like really nice straight lines. But I know eventually we won't have grid paper to do it on. We'll have to do it just like freehand, and I don't know, I'm kind of hoping that it will improve my ability to draw straight lines, because like, I don't know, some people who do the architecture stuff, they get real good at drawing straight lines. I'm just like, how do you even do that? Like, I get it, y'all probably practice all the time, but like, I could never. I need a ruler or a straight edge or something. Alright. Let's draw a broomstick. I do like a nice bumpy broomstick though. I really want to make some prints that are like in this general style where it's like sort of cute and like, you guys know this art style. We have all seen it around. Or like what I'm trying to emulate here at least, because this is not my art style. I wish. But like, I want to make some stuff sort of in this vein of just like cute, sort of witchy, spooky, trying to remember who it is that I follow on Instagram who does this. Their art style is like amazing. It's like everything. It's like Mayoko or something like that. I'll put their name up on the screen. You guys should like check them out because if you don't follow them, their stuff is like really cute. I love it so much. It's like very witchy and kind of like that kawaii art style, but it's like very simplified in like a satisfying way. It is so satisfying to look at. I adore it. Anyways, I'm sorry if none of these plants look even remotely like any particular plant, because I'm just kind of going for it right now. I have been adding plants to my room studio. I call it my studio. I live at home, so, well, I live at home. I live in my parents' house still, because I'm finishing up my college degree. Anyways, so I kind of have some plant reference around, but, I don't know if these are going to be at all accurate. So, whoops, sorry, plant enthusiasts. I want to become one of you. It's just going to take me some time to learn about the plants. Yeah, I bought a bunch of plants the other day. Well, I say a bunch of plants. I bought 4 plants. But to me, that's a bunch, because I have a habit of killing plants. But I was watching a Jenna Julian podcast where Jenna was like talking about her plants a while back. And she was talking about how like ZZ plants and snake plants are like very good plants for first time plant owners, and they're really hard to kill and they're easy to take care of. So I went out and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get myself, if I can, a ZZ plant and a snake plant. And I could not find a ZZ plant, or I couldn't find a snake plant, but I did find a ZZ plant. I found a Raven ZZ at the local Lowe's, and I brought him home. And he is with me now. I'm very proud of him. It's very good. I also got a, I'm not gonna say the name right. I can't, it's like Bro something. I call it Bro for short, but they do need names. I haven't named them yet. But it's really pretty. It's like a very tropical plant. And then I got a Maria arrowhead plant that's really cute. And I got a little succulent, so those are the only real plants I have at the moment, and I'm gonna kind of let that stew for a while before I obtain any other real plants, because I'm absolutely terrified that I'm just gonna kill these plants, and I really don't want that to happen, because they're so pretty. They look really nice in my space, but I have a really low light room. I have a north facing window. So I'm just hoping that they do okay. It's my general understanding that the plants I have might not thrive in this environment. Like they're not going to push out a ton of new growth, most likely, but they will survive, is sort of the impression I've gotten. And there was a nice lady at Lowe's who helped me to pick a couple of them out. She was like telling me about what plants do well in low light, and she was like, oh, I have like 100 plants. So I've been doing this for a while, and I was like, okay, whoa. 100 plants? That's like a lot. I can't imagine. Like, I've killed succulents before. I've killed aloe plants. I did this one aloe plant so dirty. I'm pretty sure, like, I think my friend propagated it from one of her aloe plants. She gave it to me, and I was so excited. I named it Fiji, and I overwatered it, and it died. Like, I overwatered it, and then I underwatered it, because I was like, oh no, I'm overwatering it. And then, I think it got confused, and it just didn't do well. I think I had it in direct light for too long, and I scorched it, and it died. It's still on my windowsill, because I do not have the heart to throw it out, because I don't have a compost pile or anything. So it's just gonna live there until I do something about it. But just pray that my plants do okay. I'm very worried about all of them. I'm very confused as to when to water them. I ordered one of those little water soil pH gauge things, so I hope that'll help me, because like I can't tell when the soil is dry or wet, and some of them are in like pots that don't have drainage, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to overwater them because they can get like root rot, and like, oh, it's just very confusing and stressful, and I don't want to kill my precious plants. Hi, Tiger. Tiger got up. I think she's doing a little bit better. The storm's calmed down. Wow, I'm sorry. I've been talking about plants, and I hope that someone is getting something out of this sketchbook session, because I'm not really talking about the art a whole lot, am I? I'm just rambling. So, if you enjoy the rambling, thank you for being here with us. And I'm sorry if you don't enjoy the rambling. It is like strange how many comments I get from people who are like, oh, I just like to listen to you ramble. Like, literally I had one person comment and they're like, oh, I just listened to this while I went on a run. Like, they didn't even like watch it. They were like, oh, I just like listening. So I was like, okay, interesting. I maybe don't get the appeal, but I really appreciate you guys. Like, these are really fun videos to make, I've gotta say. I am like for sure really enjoying them, because so many of my videos, I feel like I don't actually get to do art for them, and it feels weird, you know, like not getting to do an illustration for a video. So having a video series that I can do often and easily, where it's like I just get to draw things and it's minimal editing, is just like really nice. So thank you to all the people who suggested that I do sketchbook sessions, because I'm really enjoying it. I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I do, but I'm loving it. Wow, this Micron pen is almost out, I feel like. I think it's an older one. I need to like get a new one real quick, because I feel like this is gonna destroy my paper. Hello, okay, I have a new Micron pen. I hope that this one has a little bit more juice in it so it doesn't destroy my paper. Okay, yeah, this one's doing better. Okay, so like I was saying earlier about my general setup and everything, I'm working on getting things a little bit better in here for the overall filming process, and especially for sketchbook sessions, because I enjoy doing these a lot, and I enjoy just like filming traditional art videos, and I want to make more. Like, whenever I set out on this channel, I expected to do like mostly digital art stuff, and I'm actually really surprised that the kind of stuff I want to make is mostly like traditional art stuff, and stuff where I paint, and stuff like sketchbook sessions. And I didn't expect that to be the case at all, but I'm not complaining. I enjoyed a lot. So I have some like purchases that I plan on making in the future to make this setup a little bit better and maybe make things more interesting. And I don't know, I'm into sort of bringing a unique style to how I do my videos, because I really like the art video genre, but there's so many other genres that I also really enjoy. So I want to kind of incorporate multiple genres into my videos, and I mean, you guys know that. Half of my editing is like just straight up the commentary boys. Like half my jokes I'm just like, I use the stuff that like Danny Gonzalez and Curtis Connor uses. And I also have gotten really into Mike's mic recently, so. But I think it's like different to see something like that in an art video, you know? Like, art videos aren't a stranger to chaos, but I like that whole commentary style. Nobody asked you. Sorry. Anyways, so yeah, to kind of do some stuff. I also like the video essayist kind of style, and probably the biggest inspo for like some of the weirder stuff I do is like definitely Mike's mic, but Nakey Jakey, and how he's like uses the green screen for everything and sits on his exercise ball. I just really enjoy that. Whenever I started watching his videos, I was like, oh my gosh, this is just like too much, but in the best possible way. I enjoy it a lot. So, just when you plug people who have way more of a following than you, and they don't need to be plugged really because people know who they are. But if you don't follow those people, go follow them because they're pretty tight. If you're here for like laughs and a fun time, all of them are just like amazing. I've also recently gotten into like plant YouTube a little bit because, as y'all know, I'm trying to raise some plant children and I don't know what I'm doing. So yesterday anyways, losing my mind. Yesterday I just watched Plant Arena's videos like all day. They are incredibly relaxing. I feel like that's what a sketchbook session is, but for like the plant side of YouTube, because she just goes around and she like takes care of her plants and it's just really relaxing. And she has just like such a fun personality, just like watching her do things. And it's really funny because her husband was coming in and she was just like, I'm filming. And she had like clients there because I guess they do landscaping or something. Anyways, very little of this is relevant to the sketchbook session, but I do enjoy my YouTube people that I watch. And anyways, okay, back to the subject at hand. I was talking about some of the purchases I was going to make in the future to, you know, improve the production value. So I want to get a new ring light because this ring light is okay, but I feel like I need one that diffuses the light a little bit better because like I was saying earlier whenever I was talking about my plants, I have a north-facing window. It gets very low light, even less in the wintertime, of course. So I have to use artificial lights pretty much all the time to film my videos, at least in part. Like, I'm really sad that I don't have a place where I can film in natural light, but I just don't at the moment. Like, whenever I move out and get my own place, that's going to be one of the main things I'm looking for in like an office space, is a low light room, or not a low light, a natural light room where I can kind of film and do stuff. Anyways, so I want to get one of those big diffused ring lights that people use. Whenever I've been watching people's videos on how they film, especially top-down filming and sketchbook sessions, they've said that those kind of lights are really good. Because they're good at diffusing, they're really large, so they can spread things out. They also can lean straight down, so they're like horizontal basically. So if you film top-down, then they're going to light your drawing like really well. So I think that's sort of where my head's at for the lighting setup that I want in here. And then I want to get another camera eventually. I've been thinking about this for a long time, but I've been thinking about how it would be fun to film an art video like this, but then also have like a B-roll camera on myself basically, so that I can cut back and forth and maybe have it in the corner or something like that. I think it would be fun for maybe some challenge videos and some stuff where I'm doing things live. Sort of in the style of when I was working on the Bob Ross tutorial and MS Paint. I really enjoyed sort of being like more part of the process for that, but in a way where I could like edit some fun stuff and memes into it. Like, it's shorter form in a way, still a lot of editing work because that video was still like maybe a couple hours long. I think it was an hour and a half long total that I took to draw that. So still required a lot of editing, but I could speed it up and condense it in a way that was digestible and like 15 minutes long instead of, you know, an hour long. I know you guys don't mind that, but you know, whenever I'm making videos that aren't in this style, I want them to be kind of accessible to people. You know what I mean? Anyways, what am I even saying at this point? comment below. What am I saying? Anyways, words. Yeah, I was talking about the purchases I want to make. So, in addition to the lighting and maybe another camera, like I might just get the same camera I have because I like it a lot. I don't think it's considered a DSLR. It's like pretty lightweight and everything, so it's like a really good compact camera. If anyone's curious about what camera I have a Canon EOS M50. I think it's technically considered a mirrorless camera instead of DSLR. I really don't know anything about cameras, so do your own research because I really wouldn't trust me for, you know, what it is. But it is a really good camera. Like, I've had a lot of success with it. I think it was like $500 or so. I think I got it off eBay. It was new, but the cheaper listing was off eBay and didn't have any accessories, so that kept the price down. I just bought the accessories separately. Yeah, it just came with the basic package and the standard lens. So I don't know if that's relevant to anyone, but if you're interested in getting a good starter camera for stuff like this, really good camera, I would definitely recommend it. If you're new, it's easy to start using, and it's good for shooting photo as well, but it shoots really good, high quality HD video, so I don't think it's 4K or anything. It just shoots in 1080p, but I think that's still like really good. I don't want to upload 4K video to YouTube because my internet isn't good, so I don't think that would even serve me at all, really, for the most part. So it's not what I need in a camera, so I didn't get one. But yeah, I'm thinking about just getting another one of those, and then I also want to figure out a good tripod to use for top-down filming. I've been researching some of the ones that people use and they like, and at the moment the price range is just a little bit beyond me because the tripod I use right now, it's like an Amazon Basics tripod. It doesn't have the horizontal adjustable bar that you would need for top-down filming, and because of that it was a lot less expensive. I think I got it for like maybe $13, like real budget tripod, but real good for beginners. I definitely recommend it. It's sturdy. It supports a mirrorless camera. I don't know about DSLR, but anyways. But yeah, that's the other purchase that I need to make because I film on a camera instead of a phone. I feel like it's almost better, cheaper, easier to film on your phone these days. Just like don't even invest in like an expensive camera. Get a phone or film with your phone. Like have a nice phone and film top-down video with it, and you can film like other video content with your, you know, camera. But I got my phone a while ago, so it's old. It doesn't have good video shooting, so I can't really shoot with it. I think whenever I replace it in a couple of years, I will be thinking about, okay, do I want to try filming with this for top-down video instead of my other camera, you know? Because the reason phones are a little bit better is because it's really easy to find a super flexible top-down tripod filming arm for a phone because they're so light, and you can just hook it on the side of a table. It's like really, really simple whenever you're filming on a phone, because you can just put it right over whatever you're doing and it films top down. You can just flip the video and post. It's great. I was really surprised by how many people actually film on their phone whenever I was looking up videos of how people do their top-down filming, but I just don't feel like that's going to be the right option for me at the moment, because again, my phone's bad. It runs out of battery at like 20%. Like, what can I say? It's an old phone. So I think that I'm just gonna save up for a new phone when the time comes, and try to find a good tripod that I can use for this. And since I have like a mirrorless or whatever instead of a DSLR, I think it's going to be easier to find one that's maybe budget, that's going to work, because my camera isn't as heavy as some cameras. That's the big issue when you're using a big camera to film your art videos, or a DSLR. They get to be really heavy, and you literally have to have like a sandbag on the other end of the horizontal tripod arm as a counterweight with a lot of those. And I'm like, okay, wow, that's kind of intense, but when you have a camera that's so heavy, you need to have something to ensure that it's not going to just like fall over and be bad and like really hurt your camera or your camera lens. So, yep. That is one thing that makes me really glad that I don't have a DSLR. Or, I guess. I don't know what a DSLR is, guys. I really don't. I used to know what it stands for. I don't anymore. That's back whenever I was researching cameras. So, don't quote me on any of this. Do your own research for cameras. Like, maybe take some of the things I've said and use it for camera research, but otherwise don't. Because I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm making conversation. And already, I don't like this pot of flowers. I think I'm kind of going for like, what is it? I forget what kind of plant it is, but there's a specific plant that kind of looks like this. We have some fake ones in my house. And I didn't draw them right, they look wrong. But maybe I can salvage this. We'll see. Okay. I feel like we're getting close to being done with this part. Gosh, this part of the video is gonna be like half an hour. Yay. Once again, I'm sorry this video is so long. Although I know that most of you don't really care a whole lot. Okay, so again, I might time lapse some of the watercolor portion if I have to, just because whenever I upload really long videos to YouTube, it takes like an eternity to get it done. I also keep running out of disk space on my computer because I have a solid state that has like barely any memory on it, and I love my laptop, but that is one of the things that I wish I had taken into consideration whenever I was buying it. I was just like, oh, 500 gigabytes of solid state should be fine. It is not fine. Not when you're handling video files. If you're doing most other stuff, it's fine, but oh my gosh, video files take up just all the space. It's like really a lot, honestly. I feel like I'm talking about really technical stuff in this video that no one really is going to care about, so I'm sorry if there's any younger folks out there who are like, she was talking about her OCs last time. Why? What happened to that? Why is she talking about like filming setups in DSLR? I don't know. I hope that some of you find this helpful. Or entertaining, just something. I hope it's not like just outrageously boring this time. If nothing else, I hope the art is like at least a little bit interesting. Because I'm trying to do a little bit of a bigger piece this time. Drawing leaves, like this many leaves, is tedious. I should have simplified some of these a little bit, honestly, instead of drawing like each individual little leaf. I started doing it a bit more on this side, but this side looks like busy. Oof. If I ever make a print of this or something, I'm gonna go in digitally and change the color of the line art probably so it's less like in your face, because I'm worried about looking too busy, but can't change that now. It's done. It's in ballpoint pen. Whoops. Okay. So, I think most of the little plant things that I wanted to add on this window are good. So let's add little window grooves now. And try not to ruin the plant things that I had. Is that horizontal? It's horizontal enough. Let's see. It's gonna be kind of difficult to work around this cat. I should probably finish this cat before I really go and do any more of this. That way I don't ruin any part of it. Oops. Also, pro tip, if you use a I'm dropping things. If you use a clear ruler, it's like really easy to see stuff that you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to, you get the picture. Okay, let's try to finish this cat. Can I bring the camera closer? I should probably should do that. Hold on. This is as much as my lens will zoom in. So I'm sorry, I'll probably have to do any more zooming in post. But let's see if we can finish this cat. Oh, this kitty is sad. It's raining outside. The kitty doesn't want to have to stay inside. That's a pretty decent meow. Could be better, but the ears are a little long, I gotta say. And it has a little bit of a gremlin face, but I feel like that's kind of accurate. No shade, but like a little bit of shade. Okay, that's not too bad. Cool. Alright, let's finish this window. In my next video, I have been using lo-fi remixes of like the whole Wii music, and now it's just been stuck in my head. I found someone who made like the best lo-fi remixes of them, so I feel like it's really the perfect background music for me because my videos are so like, what is going on? But I also try to maintain like this strange level of aesthetic value that has absolutely no business being in my videos. So I feel like the Wii music just really hits home. Oh, that's messy. I don't like that. It's fine. It looks bad, and it's my art style. Just remember, kids, if you ever do something wrong, just tell everybody it's your art style, and it'll be fine. The amount of that I did whenever I was younger, people... So on DeviantArt, there's this thing where you could say you wanted, like, critiques of your work. That way, if someone was passing by and they had, like, you know, some tips for you, they could leave a little critique, and you could get feedback, which I think is cool. But I used to put it on all of my pieces just because I was like, oh, what the heck, if someone has something to say to me, I'd be like, cool, why not? And the amount of times where someone would criticize something, and in my mind I'd be like, oh, this is my art style. Just looking back is pretty amusing, you know? It's not a phase, it's my art style, gosh. So, just remember, if anyone ever leaves valid criticism of your work and you're feeling insecure about it, you can just tell them, you know, it's not wrong really, because it's my art style. That's what this pillow is that I just messed up and made look like a sad Cheez-It. It's my art style, so nobody come for me. I'm joking, for the record. I'm seriously joking. If someone has like valid criticism for you, take it. Because it's gonna make your art better, trust me. You can get defensive all you want. Next time you make that mistake, you'll look at your art and you'll be like, dang it, they were right. They were right all along, and I didn't listen to them. Oh no. This video is gonna be too long. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. It's fine, right? You guys will still watch, right? Even if the video is like 3 hours long, will you guys still watch it? You don't have to. It's my fault that it's gonna be long. Is this even on camera? Kind of. It's good enough. Another reason I want to get 2 cameras is to maybe have a close-up shot whenever I'm doing these videos and a far-away shot that I can kind of choose from. That way we have some variation, and if I need to get a close-up on something, I don't have to change how my main camera is set up. I can just sort of do it. I think that'll be, like, nice, you know? You know. I love doing this little thing with a Micron pen where, if you have some place that's obviously going to be in dark shadow, just filling it in with a little bit of black fill. I think that it looks really nice. It's like very appealing and graphic. Like these little parts on the cloak, filling these in because, you know, no light's going to get in there, right? It's fine. Fill it in. So I am curious of anyone getting this long. I've been wanting to like actually seriously be making some prints for a while, but I'm unsure of what you guys would actually want as a print, because like I've been looking for ways to sort of supplement my income with all of this, because of course, you know, I have to find a way to justify how much time I spend on videos and on the online stuff. So if I can bring my income up a little bit, then it'll help me justify spending more time on it, which is great. Because I really like doing this and I enjoy doing this. So, if you guys were to be interested in prints, are there any kind of things that you would want in prints? Like, I actually started working on a series of prints over Christmas break that I didn't get to finish. I finished laying them out, but I didn't finish like actually doing the art. Some of them are like close to being done, over the others are like very far away. Anyways, the point being, they were sort of in this style where they had like cute girls in like their little spaces, and I really enjoy doing stuff like that. I think it's fun. So would you guys be interested in some prints of stuff like this? Or are there other things that you guys might be interested in grabbing prints of? Like really, at this point, I might just do like, you know, if I can get people who would for sure be like, oh yeah, I'd be interested in legitimately buying, you know, some of your art in the form of prints, I might take some requests for prints that people might want me to do, or art that people might want to buy and hang on their walls, or like just the general theme of it all. Like, anyways, if I make something into a print or available as a print, I'd want it to be like actually good and nice and something that someone would actually want to have a physical copy of, and not just whatever. Because I do have that MS Paint art up on my Store Envy as a print. Because some people were like, oh, I totally buy that as a print, but I don't think anyone's actually bought it. And I'm not surprised by that, because like the print-on-demand stuff that they have doesn't give you a lot of options for sizes. It's kind of too expensive. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find some better print-on-demand services. Their clothing is good. Like, I use, what is it? Printful as my print-on-demand right now. Oh, I messed up that window. Their apparel, I think, is fine and priced pretty reasonably, all things considered. But their prints are kind of expensive, considering that they only offer certain sizes, and it's not like the kind of prints that you'd go to a convention and like find an artist selling. and I find that that's the kind of stuff that I am most interested in buying, and probably what other people are most interested in buying. So I don't know, at some point I might just say screw it and start selling some prints that I print at home on my home printer and see how that goes. But it can get overwhelming quick with shipping prices, and ink is a big thing, and the paper itself. So I'm not sure what would be the cheapest option, because like I'm really here for, if I do sell prints or sell certain merchandise, trying to give you guys affordable options, because like I just want to get, you know, a little bit of profit from it, and then I just, if you guys want to print, I want you guys to get the print, you know what I mean? So if you guys have something that you have been wanting or you'd be interested in, let me know. Because I want to start maybe putting some good prints out over the summer, and I also might start a Patreon by the end of the summer. We'll see. But again, it depends on, is that something that you guys want? Would you be interested in it? Again, if I did a Patreon, it would probably be like really low price stuff. Like it would really be for the Discord server maybe, and for voting on video topics, and for early video stuff too, and then maybe some stickers, stuff like that. Monthly stickers and prints maybe, because I feel like if I had a Patreon, that is where I could send people prints and stickers and fun stuff that I make at home and not get overwhelmed with it, because you can make like a limited amount of people can like sign up for this tier kind of thing. So that's something I can see myself managing. Anyways, I'm really talking a lot. So I just have the face left on here. Let's see if I can ink the face without completely messing it up. Let's see if we can do this. So one of the tricks I also sometimes use if I am struggling to draw a face, especially if I'm about to ink it and I'm like nervous, is I'll go back in and sort of refine the pencil sketch again. I think it just makes it easier to see, and just to make sure like, okay, yes, this is how I want the face to look. It's looking actually good before I ink it. Because I feel like with the way I inked some of this and like the hair, it started to get a little lopsided. So sometimes going in and just like fixing it and making sure that you can see the sketch well before you go in with a pen or a permanent medium is kind of nice. So. Like this face for sure got a little lopsided. That's okay. Do you guys struggle with mouths? I don't know why I struggle with mouths, but I straight up just like always am struggling. Like, I feel like mouths shouldn't be as hard as I make them. Like, it's honestly ridiculous how much I'll draw a mouth, erase it, draw a mouth, erase it. Like, this one's kind of nice. I don't know. Like, with my style, mouths can just be like a line. And yet, I still feel the need to draw a mouth, erase it. Like, oh. I guess that's kind of cute. It's just like, my style very much is always changing, and like at one point I started to make a how to find your art style video, and then I was just like, Have I really found mine though? Am I qualified to make this video? Because my art style changes constantly. And that's kind of the dealio, honestly. Like, if you're like, oh, you can just like find one art style and you'll stick with it and it'll be fine and it'll never change, it's usually not the case. Some people get really good and they develop like a really fleshed out art style where it's very consistent. I, however, am not one of those people. So, my art style does change quite a bit. I feel like I'm also very easily influenced by like other art styles that I see. Because I'll see stuff that other people do and I'm like, oh, I want to put that in my art style. That's so cool. Wow, I'm already messing up this face. Oh my gosh, where's the whiteout? Oh, it doesn't look right. Oh no. See folks, it's that quick. You can be working on a face and kind of like just completely mess it up. Oh, it's a little better. I don't know. I don't know about all this. You know how I was talking about in my ballpoint pen tutorial? How, whenever I'm rendering something with ballpoint pen, I usually do the face first, and the important parts first. Guess what I neglected to do on this illustration? Doing the face last. Like an idiot. Look at me. Ugh. And I can tell that I messed up this line here. Like, the chin is supposed to go out more, so I'm like frantically in my mind trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to fix this? I think it's going to be fixed with some acrylic paint. So we're going to fix it because I can't stand it and I need it fixed. Okay, let's do this. I don't know how much I would call this acrylic paint because it's not. It's straight up an ink. This is white deleter ink. I love this stuff for making like little highlights on eyeballs and on lips because it's really, really opaque. If you use acrylic paint, you'll know that it's not always the most opaque medium in the world. So if you're trying to cover something up or fix something, this stuff is great. And the reason it's so opaque is because I believe that most people use this whenever they are fixing manga illustrations, because Deleter is like a brand that it's like manga illustration ink and stuff like that. So that's why it's so opaque, because if you're inking for a manga illustration and you need some whiteout, this stuff, you can't really go wrong. It's really good. And also, it's like not very noticeable afterwards. I feel like it is gonna really mess up the watercolors that I plan to use on this, but I don't know. Now I'm rethinking maybe using the watercolors on this little thing. We'll see. I might do a little test somewhere to see how this and the watercolors interact. Or maybe I'll just call a complete audible and finish this digitally. Wouldn't that be wild if I was just like, you thought this was a watercolor illustration? Just kidding, we're finishing it digitally. So I'll let you guys know how this dries, because I'm mad at this part of her face. Okay, so like, here's the sitch. Watercolors, it's not gonna layer on top of this. It's gonna ruin this if I put it on. So, hi there. You might be wondering why I'm now sitting in front of my digital workspace. Well, sometimes you just gotta pivot. Okay, as you can see, I decided to finish this piece up digitally because the ink whiteout stuff that I used to fix up the face probably was not going to take watercolors very well. So I decided instead of kind of ruining the illustration in my sketchbook, I was just gonna put it in Clip Studio Paint and finish it up. And I actually had a lot of fun doing this. I've missed doing digital art. I haven't done it in like a hot minute here, probably since I was doing commissions regularly. So this beginning part is just me kind of touching up a few things. Like I just decided to take a photo of the sketch instead of scan it into my computer because my printer is like real dodgy. So after I took the picture, I just worked a little Clip Studio magic to get the line art looking a little bit better. And then I went in and touched up the face and inked over a couple more parts to make it look actually nice because the quality wasn't great. But I feel like it actually worked to my advantage on the leaves and a couple of the other areas because it looks really illustrative and like nice. I like that kind of messy style where digital work looks almost traditional. So, and here I am just going in and selecting the areas I want to color. This part's tedious because the line art was not like super solid. So I have to go in with my lasso tool and actually select everything. But yeah, I wanted to kind of choose some nice jewel tones for this palette. So I put a couple of colors that I thought would work up in the corner. You guys saw that a couple minutes ago. I decided to make the leaves kind of a turquoise color. That was sort of my base, and I kind of worked in from there. With pieces like this, I kind of just decide what colors I want them to have as I go. And I think it usually ends up looking pretty nice. Like you can see me tweaking things quite a bit as I go because I'll look at the piece as a whole and I'll decide, that color doesn't really look right there, and I'll tweak it and change it. And I work with just flats for a while here, mostly on maybe 2 or 3 layers. I have like the girl and her cat on one layer, and I have sort of the background elements on one layer and the outdoors on one layer. So for most of this recording, it's just going to be me going in and coloring things and trying to make decisions about what colors I want and trying to clean it up and make it look nice. If you guys have never tried taking a traditional sketch and coloring it digitally, it's actually not very hard. It's a lot of fun. If you don't have a good camera, like I took the photo for this on my Canon camera, but whenever I do this, I actually usually just snap a photo with my Google Pixel, and that usually works just fine. Whenever I did my outfit of the day Halloween edition illustration, I actually snapped the picture for that on my Pixel and then dropped it in Clip Studio Paint and did the same sort of method. So it works just fine, and you can maybe even get a better photo that way sometimes because phone cameras usually have some pretty good sharpening built in. I don't know if I really like the quality of the photos on my camera sometimes. It could be that I need to change it to 4K. I think it is 4K capable, but I took this photo in like 1080p or whatever, which is fine, but probably not the quality that I would need for line art like this. So I was thankful that I did this digitally ultimately because I was able to tweak a couple of things that I didn't like about the illustration. Like first of all, I decided to take the photo at a slight angle to sort of foreshorten her legs because her legs were looking a little bit short in proportion to her body in the original sketch. So pro tip, if you ever have an illustration where you messed up the proportions a bit, the angle that you take the photo at can actually foreshorten things a little bit and make it look a little bit better in the photo. It's a trick that I use a lot on my Instagram because I still struggle a lot with proportions traditionally, and when you make that mistake, you can't fix it traditionally. You gotta come up with some little tricks. So that was something that I used to fix up the legs. I also kind of took the transform tool in Clip Studio and tweaked them a bit that way as well. And I did shrink the head also because the proportions just weren't looking right for my style. Because again, as I was saying in the actual sketchbook session, I don't really like, for my style at least, that kind of thing. So I did lose footage here of me coloring pretty much all the leaves and a lot of the background because I do this stupid thing in OBS where I pause the recording if I have to get up and do something or I just need to take a little break. And I guess whenever I did that before coloring the leaves, I just didn't resume recording for some dumb reason. So that's my fault. I'm very sorry I didn't include that because that's like a very large part of the process for this illustration. But as you can see, I kind of just went in with a slightly darker color and did some shading and then went in with a couple highlight colors, and that's the gist of it. This sketchbook session is like so incredibly rough. I'm sorry guys. There's just like a lot going on this week. I'll do better, I promise. Anyways, so just trying to like finish things up. There's a lot of finishing touches that I went in with at the end. This is the time whenever I go in and add a lot of like rim light and little details and highlights. You can see me adding a couple little diamond shapes like to the window and some highlights on the little witch girl's clothes. I also changed the color of the fire because I just like thought the blue was throwing it off too much. There's a little bit too much blue in the piece. And I thought the little hints of pink worked better for the balance between like the cooler colors and the warmer colors. So changed that. A lot of coloring this was really just balancing out everything. That was really the biggest part because I didn't really choose a palette ahead of time. I had a very general idea of what I wanted, but ultimately I kind of just used the slider on the color wheel to tweak things and figure things out as I went. So if you do have an illustration where you like really want the colors to look nice, I do highly recommend choosing the colors ahead of time in the beginning and actually taking some time to figure out what you want to do. Of course, it's always going to be some, choices along the way as well, but I find it's best to do some planning for illustrations. So yeah, at the end here, I just added some more warmer colors and some sparkles, and I opened up the sliders a bit so that I could tweak the color balance. I also upped the saturation. So here's the finished piece. I'm actually really happy with how it came out, and I'm glad I did it digitally because I don't think it would have gone this well if I tried to color it traditionally. So to finish off this sketchbook session, I did print out the piece and tape it into my sketchbook. I think it looks pretty nice next to this inked version, actually. It fills up a nice couple of pages with some good color, and it means that on this page I can maybe use a weird medium, maybe like markers, because it has something taping over it. So I think it ended up looking pretty nice. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a super fun time working on this piece and doing this sketchbook session. I know it is incredibly long, so if anyone actually made it to the end, comment something weird like, I don't know, broomstick or something like that. If you enjoyed this, consider liking and subscribing and commenting and turning on notifications so that my garden can continue to grow. I put out sketchbook sessions pretty regularly, like every couple of weeks, because they're great content to put out when you're super busy. So if you want to see more stuff like this, subscribe. I have one coming out again in like probably 2-ish weeks. Until then, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining me on this chaotic journey to finish this piece, and I'll see you guys next week.